Video, we are going to see how to use an op-amp as a differentiator. We will also see what are the limitations of a basic differentiator and how to design a practical differentiator. We know the op-amp can be used to perform mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, integration and differentiation. So in this video, we will be seeing how to use this op-amp as a differentiator. Let us see the function of a op-amp as a differentiator. So first thing, the output of the differentiator will be the derivative of the input signal. For example, if I give a sine waveform, the output should be a cos waveform. So if I give a square waveform like this as the input signal, the output will be something like this. So it means that for at every transition, because we know the constant of a derivative is 0. So we will get the output only at this point, during this transition point. So for positive transition, we will get a positive pulse, and for negative transition, it is a negative pulse. So this type of circuit or this type of waveform is especially useful for used as edge detectors. So this transition can be easily detected by this differentiator circuits. The differentiator can also be used as a high pass filter. That means it can pass the high frequency signal and block the low frequency signal. This is the circuit diagram of the differentiator. So if you see clearly, it is basically an inverting amplifier. So we know in an inverting amplifier, feedback resistance RF will be there, and here input resistance R1 will be there. So instead of this input resistance R1, you replace it by a capacitor C. So then it becomes a differentiator. So let us mark the node here N. Since the positive terminal is connected to ground and this is a feedback path, I can say this node is also at a virtual ground. So this is connected to ground. So Vn is also equal to 0. Now let us see how to write the expression for this differentiator circuit. So let us take the current. IC is the current through this capacitor and IF is the feedback current through this resistor RF. Okay, so this is an op-amp. So op-amp will not draw any current, so no current flows here. So basically at this node, if I write the equation according to KCL, the current entering should be equal to the current leaving the node. So IC is equal to IF. But what is IC? This is a capacitor. So let us write the IC equation. IC is equal to C into dV by dt. So V is basically V in minus this nodal potential Vn divided by dt. Here Vn is 0. So IC is equal to C into dV in by dt. Next, what is IF? Here it is only a resistor, so we can directly write IF is equal to minus V0 by RF. Actually it is Vn minus V0 by RF. Vn is 0, so I'm writing minus V0 by RF. So now let us equate these two equations. So you will get this expression. Let us simplify it. So you will get the output voltage is equal to minus RF into C dVn by dt. So the output voltage expression is a function of the derivative function of the input signal. So what is this RF into C? It is a constant which we call it as a time constant. Now we will see the frequency response of this differentiator, so that we know to what limit this differentiator can work. Okay, so V0 is equal to minus RF into C into dVn by dt is the output voltage expression we got it. Now to draw the frequency response, we know we should know the gain as well as with respect to frequency. So to calculate the gain, first let us write this in S domain. S is j omega. What is omega? 2 pi f. So let us substitute all these things and find the gain. So gain is output by input. So if you substitute all these things, you will get 2 pi f RF into C. Here, if you see clearly, 2 pi RF into C are constant. Only F is the varying quantity. It means that the gain is directly proportional to frequency. So if you see the differentiator, simple differentiator, the gain is going to increase with respect to frequency. If you see this curve, F is here. So if F increases by this way, the gain also increases. So let us write F gain is equal to F divided by, so the remaining things 2 pi RF by RC, I am writing it as FA. So FA is equal to 1 by 2 pi RFLC. So I will get the gain expression like this, F divided by FA. So when both these frequencies are equal, what will be the gain will be equal to 1. So what does it mean? It means that gain equal to 1 means it is a 0 dB line. So this line it is. Okay. So let us mark the frequency here. So this is one pole. So it gain is going to increase at plus 20 dB per decade. So at FA, this frequency, the gain is equal to 1. It means that it is 0 dB line. And the gain increases continuously. So because gain is directly proportional to frequency, it increases. But this is limited by the open loop response of the op-amp. So from this we can understand that there is a limitation for this differentiator. So as high frequencies, you see low frequencies okay, at high frequencies the gain is more. First thing, gain is more. It means that noise will be more at high frequency. And moreover, it leads to instability. So at high frequencies, this basic differentiator suffers from stability issues as well as it may lead to oscillations. Apart from this, another major issue is input impedance. If you see the circuit, the input impedance is actually one capacitor is there, that is Xc. Xc is what? 1 by 2 pi Fc. So inversely proportional to frequency. So when the frequency is low, the capacitive or reactance is going to be, when frequency is high, the capacitive reactance will be low. It means that at high frequencies, input impedance is very less. It means that it is more sensitive to high frequency noise. So there are these two limitations which we need to overcome in a practical differentiator. So we have to modify the existing circuit. Let us see how to modify this existing circuit to avoid these two limitations. So this is the circuit which we analyzed. So let us do some small modifications, like introducing a resistor here. That is, you are adding a resistor in series with this capacitor, and you can also add a capacitor in parallel with this resistance. So this is basically done to increase the input impedance, because that is one of the major drawback. Another thing, stability problem. For that you can add a capacitor here. So the input impedance in this case will be R plus J into Xc, or we can write it as square root of R square plus Xc square. So by this way we are able to increase the input impedance of the circuit. Next, now you see here one RC component is there, here also one RC component is there. So we will get two cutoff frequencies in this practical differentiator. So one of the frequency will be F1 is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. So again here one more cutoff frequency is there. So we can choose basically F2 is chosen to be greater than F1. So with two cutoff frequencies, we are able to control the frequency response of the practical differentiator. So with the simple differentiator, we saw that at high frequencies, the gain is more, which is because of that, it is more sensitive to noises. So now we have two cutoff frequencies. So till F1 it will be increasing, the gain is increasing at the rate of plus 20 dB per decade, after which it remains constant till the next cutoff frequency, and after that it decreases. So here you can see that even though at high frequency the gain is under control, whereas here it keeps on increasing. So by this way the practical differentiator is better than the simple differentiator. Another thing is that it is always desirable to operate in this particular range FA to F1. Preferably normally F1 or the frequency should be less than F1 by 10. So the points to remember in a differentiator is that the output will be always the derivative of the input signal, and it can be used as a edge detector or a high pass filter. So the limitations of a basic differentiator is that it is unstable at high frequency and the circuit is sensitive to high frequency noise. If you like the video, do subscribe to Read Electric Vehicle channel. Thank you.